and welcome to Kevin's Seventh Heaven. Today I'm going to talk about the religious affiliation I consider myself a part of, how that interacts with the church of a different religious denomination that I work at, and how it affects me. First, I consider myself to be a Unitarian-Universalist. I'm sure many of you are now saying, "You're a what?" Historically, Unitarian Universalism is the bringing together of two schools of Christian thought. Unitarianism began as a non-Trinitarian belief that God is the singular and unique creator of the universe, that Jesus was inspired by God in his moral teachings and was the Savior of the world, but that he was not comparable or on equal footing with God. It grew in the mid-16th century in Poland, Lithuania, and Transylvania, with the Unitarian Church of Transylvania being the first to emerge. Universalism started as a Christian belief that ultimately all will be saved and restored to a right relationship with God. While the idea is likely much older, it wasn't coined until the 1820s in the Christian Intelligencer in Portland, Maine. While these beliefs may be held by some modern Unitarian Universalists, they are no longer necessarily defining characteristics of the denomination. The modern denomination was created in 1961 by the unification of American Unitarian Association, which was started in 1825, and the Universalist Church of America, which was started in 1793. Today, Unitarian Universalists have neither a set creed nor an official unified set of sacred texts, but are rather characterized by a shared search for spiritual growth. One of my favorite ways to describe UUs is this phrase: "We have questions for all your answers." We do have 7 principles and 6 sources that act as guidelines, but not hard-set dogma. The 7 principles are: 1. The inherent worth and dignity of every person. 2. Justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. 3. Acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations. 4. A free and responsible search for truth and meaning. 5. The right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and in society at large. 6. The goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. 7. Respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. The 6 sources are: 1. Direct experience of that transcending mystery and wonder, affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to a renewal of the spirit and an openness to the forces which create and uphold life. 2. Words and deeds of prophetic people, which challenge us to confront powers and structures of evil with justice, compassion, and the transforming power of love. 3. Wisdom from the world's religions, which inspires us in our ethical and spiritual life. 4. Jewish and Christian teachings, which call us to respond to God's love by loving our neighbors as ourselves. 5. Humanist teachings, which counsel us to heed the guidance of reason and the results of science, and warn us against idolatries of the mind and spirit. And 6. Spiritual teachings of earth-centered traditions, which celebrate the sacred circle of life and instruct us to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature. Therefore, there is a wide range of beliefs that individual Unitarian Universalists may ascribe themselves to. They can include, but are not limited to, religious humanism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Sikhism, Buddhism, Taoism, syncretism, neo-paganism, atheism, agnosticism, New Age, omniism, pantheism, panentheism, pandeism, deism, and teachings of the Baha'i faith. As long as you are responsibly searching for the truth, you are welcome. My first regular time of church attendance was at Prescott Unitarian Universalist Fellowship in Prescott, Arizona. I learned all sorts of things there. My Sunday school included not just Christian teachings, but a myriad of other things. The ones I most remember are playing the dreidel game on Jewish holidays and doing guided meditation. On World Children's Day, we kids were meant to present something to the congregation. I remember I read a version of the Lakota story, The White Buffalo Calf Woman. I also love going to summer camp there, as we would learn a lot about nature and our place in it. Another important aspect of Puff was its commitment to service of others. Among other things, I remember Puff being one of the organizers of the local Empty Bowls program. I understand that they have since built a garden on the property, that the produce is donated to local food banks. All in all, a lovely place and organization. Between middle school and high school, we moved to Vail, South Dakota, where there was not a UU church within practical distance that we could go to every week. The closest was an hour away in Rapid City, and that trend has continued through my college years in Aberdeen, and now in Spearfish/Belle Fourche. In Aberdeen, I was asked by fellow college student Liz to come help out the choir at North Highland United Methodist Church, where she was directing. I accepted and made quick friends among the congregation there. I began to attend regularly because I saw North Highland as an accepting and mission-minded church. After a few years, it became necessary for both my sake and my parents that I return to Spearfish, where they had since moved, and take care of them. I began to attend Spearfish United Methodist Church because I sensed the same spirit of acceptance and mission emanating from the congregation. After the sudden death of the worship coordinator, I was hired to take on the technological aspects of his job. However, I am still not a member of the United Methodist Church. I am considered a constituent of the Spearfish Church. You may be wondering what I, as an LGBTQ ally, am doing in a Methodist church wherein its book of discipline is against homosexual marriage and practicing homosexual clergy. Well, when I started attending the UMC, it was and still is a big tent, but with such diverse thought, a split has occurred. The more conservative churches have branched off into the global Methodist Church, while those that include a real mix of ideologies, to perhaps having a liberal majority, have generally stayed in the conference. This has occurred over homosexuality stances as well as other issues. At both North Highland and Spearfish, I have found people of great acceptance of all people and discomfort with the status quo. This is why I am with these particular churches. If Spearfish were ever to vote to leave and become Global Methodist, I would leave Spearfish United Methodist Church. Unless such an event occurs, I will continue working with SUMC and pushing for service to all. As for how this complicated relationship with religion affects me, I generally follow Christianity, but am willing to learn from all religious walks. Any who are seeking spiritual growth, working to serve others, and are accepting or becoming more accepting of those innately different from them are my brothers and sisters and family on this earth, and I will keep working with them to love my neighbor and make the world a better place. Thank you for listening to me speak about where I am in relation to religion. Please like and subscribe for more from me. It really helps my channel out a lot. Anyway, ta-ta for now. Love you all.